So this is how I snowboard to work. We're using the Summerboard SBX2, which came out a few weeks ago. And it has the same edge structure as a snowboard with these nice padded hooks in order to hold your weight on each edge, and they're just super easy to jump out of. So as always, we warm up with some spins, and anytime there is a turn to the left or the right, we can do a revert carve. I've been practicing these so much over the last year, whether that's on the Freeboard or the Summerboard, and what I didn't understand at first is that when you're learning, you really can't see around the corner that you're turning. Here's a little example of doing it through this narrow section. You see the turn to the left, and actually I go into the revert carve, but finish in switch. This just involves turning your head around and facing forwards. This is a good way to practice trying to get into the revert carve, and then if you don't feel comfortable, as long as you're good at riding in switch, you can just turn your head forwards, and that will just end the trick. Another reason why riding in switch should be on the priorities list if you're learning these kinds of skateboard. I've also been learning these backside drifts, which are just so much fun, especially with that added kind of risk of being on a narrow road. It's a great way to test whether you have control of the trick, and it really does show you that you can go left and right while skidding backside. It's always fun showing up to the traffic lights and trying to drift frontside as slowly as possible to really make it look like you're snowboarding in the middle of the city. And now that we'd warmed up, it was time to put the board to the test. You can really cross any kind of terrain with this board as long as you feel confident and you don't freak out with the bumps. Here's my current favourite trick. It's a frontside 180 where you try and get into this revert carve after the frontside 180. These open sections are really fun because they give a lot of leeway for making mistakes. And of course the busier areas are equally fun because you can really try these drifting tricks at low speed to make sure you've got a really controlled light weight on each edge. You can easily hop on and off of pavements, and again when it's so narrow you really put the tricks to the test. And I've been really trying to spin back into switch after doing all of these tricks. We're coming up to my two favourite parts of the run, this one here being a wide pavement spot, and since it was quite wet I tried this reverse carve in switch, because that way if I messed it up, I wouldn't flat spot the wheels. The crazy thing about this board is just how many tricks you can practice on all different kinds of roads. Whether it's a right turn on flat where you can do an overslide, or here while going uphill you can hop about and even do spins. You can even practice tail presses, which are slightly different on the new Summerboard because of that change in height of the centre wheel. And check out how sick the light up wheels look when it gets dark. We stop off for a glorious view of the city and to rest our feet because this board is exhausting. It's incredible that by the time I arrive at work, I've already done a few miles on the Summerboard, and I can't stress enough how good this regular practice is. By the time you've gone to work and back, you might have covered well over 10 kilometers. I'm pretty sure this is the coolest mode of transport ever made, maybe other than a Ferrari or something. But either way, thanks for joining me on this snowboard to work.